third time this season the Thunder were held to under 100 points offensively. How are you going to stop this? You can't. Luka had 30 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, and he's chirping somebody on the baseline. Some things don't change. Oh, and then LeBron doing his best Jared Allen impression. You remember that from last week? LeBron doing his thing. 126-99, Lakers get the win. For the first time since 95. Speaking of former Mavs, Luka, he had a night. He went for 37 boards, 6 times in a win against the best in the West Thunder. It's his 10th game with 35 and 5 since the All-Star break. That is the most in the league during that span, which all amounts to the Lakers shooting the lights out on Sunday. 15 threes in the first half, 22 in a game, both tying franchise records. They weren't just chucking up shots, though. They were hitting them 55% from beyond the arc last night. So to dive deeper, Handscape writer David Dennis Jr. joining the program from vacation. My guy knows a thing or two about those comp days. What did you see in the Lakers win over the Thunder, D?
Yeah, let's wrap this up. I got to go to Space Mountain in a little bit, so can we get to talking? Yeah, what I saw from the Lakers last night, yesterday, was perfect basketball from the Los Angeles Lakers. They played the perfect game from their game plan and execution. What you've learned is that dating back to last playoffs, when Luka Doncic was wearing a Dallas Mavericks jersey, that OKC does not really have an answer for Luka and shooters around him spacing out the floor. Now, if I'm OKC, I have to say this is going to happen again. The Lakers made 13 of their first 16 threes. They were on fire. You have to kind of feel like maybe that is an anomaly, but overall, Luka and those shooters are still kryptonite for the OKC Thunder. Now, on the other side of the floor, offensively, they gave SGA fits. He did not shoot a free throw in the game, only has 2 free throws now in the last 2 games. If I'm OKC, I have to think about how I'm going to end this season with a little bit of pride after these 2 games I had against the Rockets and the Lakers. I understand you take your foot off the gas a little bit, but that can't happen anymore. You got to finish this season off strong.
We're going to see if they can get up off the map pretty quick against these Lakers because they play them again. It's a rematch, literally tomorrow. Let's stay in the West. The Rockets shut down Steph Curry and the Warriors. A game after shutting down SGA and the Thunder. What are you seeing from Houston right now, D?
I'm seeing defensive nirvana from the Houston Rockets right now. These past two games, you held SGA to 2 free throws, and then you hold Stephen Curry to making 1 shot in the entire game. And that shot was basically a half-court heave. Other than that, he was scoreless in the entire game. You have Amen, Excellence Thompson, Mama gave him that middle name for a reason, face guarding him across the court. You have Ime Udoka having everybody play defense with so much discipline. But beyond that, my main concern with the Houston Rockets has been how they're going to close out offensively. Jalen Green stepped up 10 straight points in the clutch to really put that game out of reach. That is a huge difference maker for this Rockets team right now. And if you're going to lock into that second seed, and you may play a Denver team with an injured Jamal Murray or something like that, that first round may break Houston's way in a very big way.
And those Rockets currently the West's 2 seed right now, which is a handful of games left in the regular season. David Dennis Jr. joining the program
tonight, 126-99. It all but locked up their 3 seed now. They are 2 games ahead of all the big, giant, messy middle in the Western Conference. All the teams with 32 losses, they're at 30. So they're in a good spot. They do have 4 games left, so it's not completely over. But what happened in this one that you took note of?
Well, the biggest storyline of the game is the way the Lakers shot the ball from the 3. Like that's going to be the nights that they're able, to light it up from the 3. They can be almost unbeatable if they're going to shoot like some of these teams that we know can go off, like Boston, Cleveland, these teams that can just light you up from out there at nights. Sometimes Oklahoma City can be like that. The Lakers made 22 threes in this game. That was the storyline, and they were a plus 30 from the 3-point line over OKC, and they win the game by 27 points. I was shocked by 2 different things, and it really involves what the Lakers were able to do on both ends of the floor. Number one, I couldn't believe how difficult it was for Oklahoma City to beat guys off the dribble. Normally, and I've seen them so much this year, like they have so many guys that are so quick with the ball when it's a swing pass and they go, or obviously Shea, what he can do to you with a live dribble, Jalen Williams too. They couldn't get by anybody one-on-one in this game. Like they just couldn't beat them definitively to now go force a reaction and make a play. Like whoever was on their hip stayed on their hip. And the Lakers, we've talked about this a lot. They've got a lot of length and size with different guys that can guard these dudes, right? LeBron, Dorian Finney-Smith, Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reaves, like all of those guys have pretty good size, and they could do a really good job of sliding, staying with you. Oklahoma City's usually not bothered by that kind of stuff. They were in this game. For whatever reason, man, there was just no gaps to be had. And to such an extent, Adam, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did not take a free throw in this game.
What?
Now, you're talking about a dude that, I mean, it's pretty commonplace he gets there 10 times a night. I think he's done that like 38 times or something this year. He didn't take a free throw in the game. And so the Lakers were not only like sliding with him and bothering him, he had a decent shooting, like right just under 50%. They weren't fouling him. And a bit more importantly, they weren't overcommitting or overreacting to penetration because guys weren't getting beat. So as a result, the 3-point kick out wasn't really there. So that's the first thing that stood out to me. I just thought, man, Oklahoma City is bottled up by this team. So that's we'll get to talk about the defense in a second. Let's just get your thoughts on that first of all.
Well, my thoughts on it are 20 assists for Oklahoma City. Obviously, if you're not making shots, the assists are going to be low, but that also points to what you were talking about. But my thing, Legs, is as good as Oklahoma City is, I think that they struggle. The one weakness they have is they struggle against big wings, and the Lakers have two of the absolute best of them. Because LeBron and Luka, I think, are a little bit more unbothered. We talked about this the last time they matched up, but they're a little bit less bothered by the Lou Dorts of the world, the Shays, all of the different defenders they have. And again, I did not see this game, but I do see that Luka Doncic had a very comfortable 30-point night, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. And so when I see the outcome of this, yes, the hot shooting obviously is the story, but that part of it still is something that I watch for when I look at that matchup. Lakers versus them, I don't know if they can guard their key guys.
And look, I said this about Luka last year when they were getting ready to play in that Minnesota series. He's not bothered by length and quickness at all. He's not. He doesn't care because he's using his strength against you, and he's so patient and so slow that he doesn't care about how quick you are. He's going to go at his pace, and he's going to beat you up physically. Dort is the one guy Luka's acknowledged as being like the toughest guy to guard him. And it's because of the brute strength. He can hold his ground, and Luka really needs you to give ground to operate because he's not blowing by you. He needs you to back up when he hits you so he can go to the lean back and the up fake and get the fouls and all that. Here's the problem. Lou Dort can't guard both of those guys. And Oklahoma City's got a lot of really good individual defenders, but against those two guys, LeBron and Luka, it requires a very specific type of guy with a lot of strength. And you can't put him in both places. So I think to your point, Luka wasn't affected at all. LeBron had I would call it a fairly quiet game. He didn't really go off, he didn't get to the line either, by the way, which is one of the reasons his numbers weren't better because he didn't shoot any free throws either. The game was really about Luka offensively and the way that they shot the ball around him because he was not really affected by anything Oklahoma City was doing to him with their pressure. And that is what they live on. They need that to happen to affect the ball handlers, affect the entry passes because they're so quick and they're all over it. Luka was just kind of doing his thing, getting to his spot. And as a result, Oklahoma City was committing, make extra guys. Luka now spreading it around. All the 3-point shooters got comfortable. And the Lakers, I don't know that I've seen them play many games this year, if any, that were more impressive than what I saw out of them today on both ends of the floor.
Wow, that's a big one. Any final thoughts on this game before we move on?
It's interesting now. You look at Oklahoma City, okay? So one of the things I did think about, and I'm not trying to take anything away from the Lakers did. I just gave them all the praise in the world. So take this, for what it's worth. I'm looking at Oklahoma City a little bit. And I'm saying to myself, like, they just lost back-to-back games. It's only it's only happened a couple times all year. Like that's the most they've lost all year. They've never lost 3 in a row, never more than 2. And both of these games, I'm watching them and I'm just kind of like, did they peak a little bit too early? Like they've had such a stranglehold on the Western Conference. And I know they were in this battle with Cleveland for a while for the best overall record. I think that's pretty much over now, right? They're going to get that. So I just wonder, where are they right now in terms of their edge I think the one thing they were still going for was 70 wins. I think they wanted to get it. Well, their loss in their last game took that out of the equation. So the most they could have gotten was 69. Now it's going to be 68. There was something missing about them the last two games. It just was. They had less emotion than they normally play with. And I'm just wondering, is that just a byproduct of this incredible year they've had, lapping the field in West, nobody close to them, finally getting to the point where, I say they wrapped it up, but they had a 3-game lead. I'm not sure what it is right now, but they now have to work a little bit maybe here at the end to secure that overall home record. But these last two performances were not what I've watched all year out of them. The Lakers, what did they get in the first half? The Lakers had 78 points in the first half, Adam.
Well, I'm looking though at their shooting, though. I think they were over 80%.
Not only the number one defensive team in the league, they're the number one defensive team by a mile over everybody else when you look at the metrics.